it. All right. So now there's a live counter up here at the top that says that we are live. So now let's look at YouTube. Still says they're waiting on me. Oh, there we are. And I'm looking down at my phone. So I'm going to move my phone a bit so that ooh, there's a delay. Oh, there we are. And I'm looking down at my phone. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, hey, Stubbs stopped by. All right. Hey, Stubbs. Stubbs Aquatics. Have you ever seen Stubbs videos?
I have not. I don't believe so. Let me.
That's one thing. As you start to get involved in this, you end up finding more and more channels to go down the rabbit hole with, and you get so much content. There's Mexicali Fish Keeper.
I've seen some of the Stubbs Aquatics videos. I just had to. So there's so many different, YouTube names that I have to see the face before I remember who they are.
Yeah. So if you couldn't tell by the title and the description, this is just us. Tanner's helping me out. I'm trying to figure out live streaming. I had a good time over on Susan's live stream. I should look at the camera and not at my screen. Camera, not screen, camera, screen. This is some of the content you should expect. But I had such a good time on Susan's live stream that I just wanted to do one. And so I was playing around with it, and Tanner's a good friend of mine from the ETAA, the East Tennessee Aquatic Association. And I was like, hey, why don't you help me out with this? And he was cool with that. So thank you, Tanner, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's fun.
Yeah. So there's really no agenda, nothing really going on other than we're just messing around with this to see what happens. So thank you both for stopping in. I know Stubbs said he was just stopping by. Thank you, Mexicali Fish Keeper. Says, sounds good. Video is good. That's awesome. Now,
it'd help if I moved over to the comments so I could see. Well, I was like, where are you seeing people say hey? And I was like, I don't see anything.
Well, where did you find that? Because when I was on Susan's, I never turned the comments on because I didn't know where they were.
Well, it's default on mine. It was default to the private chat.
Oh, I see.
And I saw comments, and I was like, what are the comments? And so I clicked, and now I can see, well, hey, everyone. Thanks for saying hey.
Okay, so the private chat is where I can send you a message. And they can't see that. So we'll share all the secrets there. All right. So yeah, I'm planning on, I went ahead and scheduled the first live stream. It'll be next Tuesday at 8:30. And we'll go 30 minutes or an hour. We'll figure it out. I am going to have a co-host. And I'm excited about that. It's the first person I thought of when I thought about doing this. So we'll save that reveal for the first actual episode, just in case this gets deleted, because that'll be fun. Just make sure it's in private. Oh, make sure that you're typing in the private chat before you. Yeah, absolutely. Good point. The software is really cool. I was really impressed with StreamYard on Susan's live stream. So we're going to share this real quick just because we want to try everything while we don't have an actual, while a lot of people haven't seen that we're live. I'm going to go into the ETAA and share that it's going on. Apparently I had a 3-minute timer on.
Mexicali, I just looked up your YouTube channel. If you're still in here, I see that last video you did was the plenum, the DIY plenum. How are you liking that?
Oh, cool. Having his first live stream on Saturday. Well, make sure, actually, I'll make sure that I check that out. I'll hit the little notification to let me know. I shared it over at the ETA. I'm going to step away, and I'll be right back, and I'll tell you why I stepped away when I get back. Putting you on the spot, Tanner. Thanks for helping.
Good deal. Okay,
oh, that put me on the spot. There we go.
So it's your third tank you set up with the plenum. That's really cool. I've got the sump. You can't see it, but the sump on the tank behind me is basically set up not necessarily like a plenum, but it has the same concept with the nitrification, denitrification, and it's been a massive, I think, benefit to having it in a tank where, the plants still take out a lot of the nitrates, but I'm dosing a lot of ferts, and it helps keep basically it helps keep algae down. I haven't really had algae issues in this. If y'all can see that, this tank has been set up for about 2.5 months now, and it's got a sump running beneath it, but I've not dealt with really any algae, and it's been awesome.
Is that the tank from Aquaticon?
No, that's not. My Aquaticon tank has not been set up yet.
Okay.
We're moving our office for work, and that's going to be my desk tank. So I'm pretty stoked on that. We're going to be adding some tanks to the office so more tanks I get to take care of, which is fun.
Yeah. Setting up a tank. It's been a while. It was May 2 years ago the last time I got to set up a tank because I just had the 75. Oh, that's not true. I set up the micro pond.
That's right. I've liked watching that progress. It's been making me really want to set one up, but I don't know if I'm gonna be moving anytime soon. And the thought of breaking down 9 tanks plus a pond is like, ooh.
It's just one more, Tanner. It's not a big deal.
That's true. But I don't know how you have kept that 75 running so long, because I just absolutely, this tank, I've lived here for a year and it's gone through 4 different scapes. This one behind
it's changed. Yeah. For the most part, like the hardscape is not changed, but I've moved plants around several times. And I recently took almost all of the stems out. All of your Ludwigia and Rotala is now out in the micro pond. And I've embraced the 75. The 75 doesn't want to do those. So the 75 is just going to be Crips and Amazon swords. Did you see where I had a spike come off my Amazon sword?
Yes. Yeah, that was cool.
3 brand new plants. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was flowering until my lid fell and cut the flower off.
Oh man. Hey, yeah, I redid the 55 about 2.5 weeks ago now and added some swords to it because I got some just horrendous blackbeard algae. I was like, it was covering everything because I just kind of that's more of my fish focused tank. So I was like, if it grows, it grows. Then I was like, you know what? It's covered in algae and I can't deal with this anymore. So I just broke it down entirely.
Yeah, I've definitely been dealing with the blackbeard for a number of years. When I first experienced it, I had added to tiger lotus. It was a tiger lotus, but it was green, and it's probably just because of my life, but it was a tiger lotus, and it just started like killing everything around it and sucking up nutrients, and I couldn't keep nutrients in the 75, even with it overstocked. It doesn't well, and I say I had one, but the truth is when I put it in, it separated from the bulb, and so I just stuck the bulb, on the substrate, and another one grew. So I ended up with 2, and they were just nutrient hogs. I saw Ray with the ETAA sharing that he had some, and I haven't commented yet, but man, I really wanted to have one of those, but it got me so frustrated. That's when the BVA showed up, and it got me so frustrated. I tore it out. I got rid of it.
Yeah, I've got 2 of those Lotus in the 55, and then one in a 10-gallon that's just like the leaves on it are like that big. I think it might actually be the dwarf lily, the Nymphaea, I think is the variety, but it stays super small. But the ones in the 55 are like there's a good portion, probably a 6-inch diameter around them that no other plants can survive.
Yeah.
Because they get some monstrous root systems.
It was doing some stuff for sure. I'm trying to see, and I want to say, Stubbs, thank you for stopping in, even if you're not here now. I think you are. I think it doesn't count us because we're through StreamYard. So I think the two is Stubbs and Mexicali Fish Keeper. But thanks for stopping by, and I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing your wife, and I totally understand. My wife's going to be out of town soon, and I'll be glad when she's back. Let's see. The reason why I had to run off and come back is because I'm changing the water in the Corridora fry, and I've got it dripping. So I wanted to make sure I didn't have a mistake taking place while I was over here.
Yeah. Have any of those hatched yet?
Yeah, so I have. Well, and this is probably a story that I'll tell on the first official stream. But I pulled 60 eggs, and I probably had a dozen hatch, and I lost all but 4.
Oh, so, man,
heartbreaking. Yeah, that's why I was messaging. Was it last night? I was messaging you a bunch of questions.
I think it was, and I was like, I've only hatched Corey's once. I was like, I hope I'm not leading you the wrong direction, because what I did is, honestly, Curtis I got his number, and I was like sending him pictures, calling him. I was like, what do I do? Because I was outside working on my patio on some plants that I put out, and I came inside and I was like, there's eggs all over the glass. Who are these coming from?
Yeah.
Because I have like 4 different types of Corys in this tank, and I had about probably 10 egg clusters.
4 different species?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are stragglers.
Fish Keeper, I think it is showing you. I think because we're looking at the chat through StreamYard, I don't think it shows us in the chat. So I think we see you and Stubbs. So, sorry, Tanner. I wanted to make sure he was trying to figure out. They were trying to figure out.
I don't see I guess, viewer count. I just see the chat, and it doesn't I can't type in the chat.
Yeah, I do see a viewer chat, and I bet I could actually boost our numbers by jumping in from one of my other YouTube accounts. Maybe feed the algorithm in some way, because I should have a notification. That was I purposefully set notifications so I could check it out. Oh yeah, there's the notification that we're live. I gotta make sure I turn it down though, because the timing. Oh, it's pretty caught up. Yeah, it does only show one in the chat now. Stubbs' wife must have got on.
That's what I've done with the Cory eggs, is I put them in a tank with one shrimp, and then I did get some fungus, and I pulled those, but I probably had about 25, 30 hatch, and I probably have about 20 that survived. But now
yours are bronze, right? Or you think they're bronze?
I'm almost certain they're bronze, unless some of the other Corys could.
I don't think they can.
I have some of I think the albinos might be able to, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what they're an albino of. I don't know what albinos actually are.
I think they're of the, what's the main Cory?
Is an albino the Palliatus? Because that's like the other more common. You've got bronze and green and Palliatus, salt and pepper. Mexicali Fish Keeper, thank you for checking us out and giving us some feedback on our video and audio. That's really awesome of you. I think I have followed you on the YouTubes.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check out some of your videos. I'm looking through your list, and you've got some pretty interesting ones. The duckweed jello, I've done that before with frog bit, and it makes for some great food.
I still have a lot to, but I don't ever dry it out. I don't think, will mollies eat it?
So what I did is basically froze it, pulled it out, put it in the freezer, and then blended it. I can't, and mixed in some I think I mixed in like some flakes and then froze it with to make.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the thing you use to make jelly? I think it's pectin, maybe something along those lines. I can't remember the exact recipe, but it basically makes like a jelly cube.
Okay.
And Corey's really liked it. I bet you Molly's would eat it. I mean, they'll eat anything.
I need to get that. I need to look that up because I have more than enough. I did not take any to the last club meeting, and I actually had people asking, "Why didn't you bring more?" So, but I did that because I didn't want to take just a little bit. I wanted to take a bunch. So I've got a bunch now. The pond has a ton of it. So
the ponds will grow it like crazy.
Yeah, and I also have some frog bit in there as well, which is very.
I like
cool.
the frog bit.
I like it better. I threw some in the 75.
I like the frog bit better too because it's easier to pull out. It's just.
I like how they're like connected.
Yeah, I recently, the only floating plant I have right now is the red root floaters.
Yeah, those look good.
I take that back, and
the other day.
Some salvinia snuck in with it, but I'm fine with salvinia. I think
that came from the club. That came from.
I got this from where is it? The store near me, Aquatic Critter.
Okay. I gotta check that out next time I'm in Nashville.
If you ever come to Nashville, let me know. And there's a couple stores that are really cool. The two I go to are Aquatic Critter and then Seven Seas Aquatics. They actually just moved locations to a bigger building and had a big grand opening last weekend. And they've got some really cool. It's mainly a salt store, but they've still got some cool freshwater.
Okay. Well, I have a technical question to ask if Mexicali is here, and Red Laser is also in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Can you hear my puppy? Because he's in the next room and he is raising Cain. Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad. Okay.
Not bad. More background.
Okay. Well, I got to figure that out for sure.
Can y'all hear my son?
Normally, I would let him just be in here, but I've got that drip going on, and so he's up and not liking it at all. Yeah, Red Laser. I don't even know how to say that. Tanner, can you say that?
I think it's Aeneas.
Is Aeneas?
Aeneas.
I was going to say it wrong. You're going to laugh. Everybody's going to laugh. It would have been good for a live stream, though.
I had 4 years of Latin, and I still can't pronounce half of it.
Yeah, probably be a good idea. Wow, he's really raising Cain in there. There are others with him, so I wonder if it's loud on the live stream as well. I think Mexicali is. They're either saying yes, you said it correct, or they're saying yes, the dog is annoying. He actually just turned 1. He's a little guy.
What type of dog is he?
Yeah, so he is a mix between a Yorkshire Terrier and a Shih Tzu. So he's a Shorty.
Okay.
Yeah, we all have allergies. The girls wanted a dog, and we decided that we would try to find something that would work with our allergies, and that's where we ended up. Oh, Chattanooga Ed. Hey, Ed, what's going on?
Hi, Ed. How's it going?
I can hear the pup, but it doesn't bother me. All right, Mexicali, thank you for that. Like I said, I've got a drip going on in the room, so I didn't want him roaming around because I'm pretty sure he already pulled it out once. And so I didn't want to let it happen again while we're just kind of playing around. All right, so I've already scheduled the first official live stream. This is kind of the let's hit the guardrails as hard as we can and see if we can break anything live stream. And so far it's gone pretty well, other than the fact that we were 10 minutes late because I couldn't find the go live button. I mean, it should have been a big red button and I would have caught it right. You know, I would have seen it right away, but it had to be blue.
Yeah, you think
good to hear that you're doing well, Ed.
Hey,
Hey,
Garcia
Garcia Aquatics.
Aquatics.
Thanks for stopping by.
Are you doing that the drip on those quarries from your 75?
I am. Yeah. So I put them, when I was talking with you yesterday, I put them out in the garage. Because what I was trying to do is I've got a few eggs that have not fungus, but they've not hatched either. So I was trying to get the temperature up just a little bit and hope that they would hatch. And so this morning when I went out there, I was a little worried because it was supposed to get in the 90s here today. I was a little worried about leaving it out there. And so I brought them inside. Well, when I got home, it was in the low 70s, like maybe even below 70. And so I don't want to bring the temperature up that quick, but I needed to do the water change. So I've just got that little drip going on to hopefully fill it up in the next hour and a half or so.
Yeah, what I did with mine is I just took, a little, a small cup, maybe like 8 ounces, and would take a cup out of the shoebox or like plastic shoebox size container. That's what I had them in. Take a cup out, shine a flashlight in, make sure I didn't have any, catch any fry, pour it in the tank, this tank behind me, and then take a scoop and, just go back and forth to try and kind of keep it from shocking them. And they did pretty good. They're in a 5-gallon right now that's I haven't touched in a minute. They're just getting a little bit of food every day.
Yeah, I've got them. So I started off with like a 1-gallon little plastic tank that I used to use for shrimp. And I was just really worried about that. And I'm pretty sure the die-off that I experienced may have been lack of feeding on Sunday. Sunday was the first day that I was supposed to be feeding. And I think I didn't feed them enough. Maybe because I still had some that had the yolk sac still on them and they passed too. So I don't know.
If they've got the yolk sac, then they don't need.
They weren't eating. They shouldn't have been eating.
Don't need food. What I did is I lost some because they hatched the day before I was leaving to come to Knoxville for Aquaticon. So I was like, crap, I can't feed them for 2 days. So luckily I had a tank that had been, running for about 6 months. I sucked up quite a bit of mulm from it that, you could see it had some microfauna in it. And I just plopped it in there with some guppy grass. And I was like, be good, guys.
And did you lose anybody?
Yes.
You had a lot, so you might have lost.
I had a lot, and I honestly did not want them all because I didn't have the tank space. It was more of a, what if I can raise them up? Awesome. If not, I'll be disappointed. But I know I can do it again. Yeah.
So Mexicali said that they called out for reinforcements and they're showing up. So thank you for that. We really appreciate it. Like we said, this is not like the official stream. I was doing that when I got sidetracked. This is going to be so fun. But the official stream will start next Tuesday at 8:30. And I'll have a very special co-host with me. Not that Tanner's not special. Tanner's a good friend, and I'm very thankful that he's here. But we will have a co-host in the official show. It'll start next Tuesday, 8:30. And yeah, that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. I've actually already got it scheduled, so you can I'm going to say actually a bunch of times and make a tally. Keep counting how many times I say actually. But actually that they will, so you get that notification. Yeah. YouTube stuff. All that YouTube stuff. You all are YouTube pros. Tanner, I see the TK Aquascaping. Is that the name of, can we talk about that? Is that something you're working on?
Yeah. So it's, I guess in the works. I made a Instagram a couple months ago just to shoot out pictures that I take, and it's named TK Aquascaping because
I recognized it.
I take a ton of pictures of my fish, and I was like, they're all sitting on my phone, but I don't know who would want to see them. So I just made an Instagram. I was like, we'll throw them out there. If people like it, they like it. I did do the TikTok thing for a minute and wasn't really a big fan of that.
Yeah.
So just wasn't enjoyable. But I'm thinking about, with the Scruffy City Aquatics, we might need like a Middle Tennessee Aquatics, or I'll probably go TK Aquascaping if that's not already taken.
So what is Nashville? Is it the Marble City? Is that right? It's Music
No, it's
City.
the Music City.
Yeah. Oh wait, Knoxville might have been the Marble City.
I think Knoxville was.
Yeah, because all of the Tennessee marble, the pink marble, comes out of our area.
Yeah, because I know that
like Music City. You can
Vulcan
see Music City Aquatics.
And
I like TK.
It is the easiest thing I could come up with.
Yeah. No,
but
hey, I saw the Instagram because I think you followed me.
I did.
Yeah, and so I saw it, and I saw a couple of pictures. Like, oh, that's Tanner.
Yeah.
So, cool.
A lot of them have been posted in the ETAA club as well, the Facebook group.
Yeah. So Ed said that Tuesdays.
Oh, I'll have to check out and see if I should be following you back then, but if not, I apologize. I'll check that right now.
Yeah, we do not have mods yet. That's something that I've got to look into. I figured first stream I'd start to work on that, figure out what we're going to do. I see Ed saying Tuesday's much better than Wednesday. You're going up against some big hitters right now. I know. That's why we didn't really put it out there all that much that it was happening, because this really is just a test to try and figure out what we're doing. Tanner's helping me out so that I can figure out, learn a few things before we do the live stream on Tuesday. But yeah, I did actually look at fishfam.link and saw that there was an opening at 8:30 on Tuesdays. And yeah, so that's why I picked the time. It worked for me. Ed says he's heading down to Atlanta to their club meeting this weekend. All right.
Does Atlanta have a pretty good club?
Oh, Atlanta's got a big club. There's a lot of people in Knoxville who go to stuff at the Atlanta club. So we got Hippie John the Fisherman. So yeah, we just got some crazy zaniness going on as we try to break StreamYard to see if we can figure out how to live stream. Hippie John is a lot easier to say. That's what Ed called him. I have heard people speak with Hippie John in other live streams. I have been a lurker for a long time on YouTube and an occasional converser over in the comments. So in the live comments, during the live streams. So, but yeah, getting to know everybody's pretty cool because you recognize people that you've seen in live streams from all different creators, and it's really cool to see everybody and to start to pick up on what people keep, and that interaction's fun. Oh, cool. That sounds cool, Ed. So they got someone specializing in native fish. We've actually, not to take anything away from the Atlanta Club, because that's going to be a fun time, and I wish I had. So there's JT lurking around. So hey, JT, thanks for stopping by. But Ed's talking about in Atlanta, not taking away anything because they've got an awesome thing going on there, and I wish I could make it to Atlanta this weekend. That'd be a lot of fun. But we're talking with someone about some native stuff to East Tennessee too. So hopefully that's something, hopefully it's something that might happen this year. If not, it definitely will next year. Really looking forward to that. One of the things that we've talked about doing, and again, this is just things we've talked about doing, so not saying that it's happening, but collecting of native species, doing it officially in a capacity, because you can't keep it. You can catch it and eat it, but you can't keep it and put it in an aquarium or something like that. But yeah, that's something that we hope to be able to do with the East Tennessee Aquatic Association.
And Mitch, going off of that, when I was in college, we would go snorkel streams.
Yes.
And I had a good buddy who I think right now he's in Alaska working with salmon research. But we would catch in the little collection, little plastic container, and he would identify them, know everything. This was before I really got into fish, keeping aquariums full blown. But that's a lot of fun. There's some beautiful native fish.
Yeah, there are. I'm really looking forward to one day being able to do that. And I was actually talking with them, with the person who was who's interested in doing it with our club, and they were telling me about what they do already and how we would be able to facilitate it with the club. And it just sounds like a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That'd be great.
Ed asked. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying it'd be great. Sorry.
Ed asked if the Knoxville Club meeting is on the 11th. It is. It is on the 11th, June the 11th at 4 p.m. We'll be meeting. That's a Saturday, and it is at the Blunt Mansion. It's going to be a good time. We are talking about summer tubbing, and it's going to be a great presentation by Jason, and looking forward to that. And he's got a lot of experience. If you're a member of the club, you might see him posting about his outdoor ponds and stuff. I see I'm going to butcher that. Vanoxki has joined. So old time lurker here, and thank you for not only lurking but commenting. Ed, we look forward to seeing you again. It's always a pleasure to have you. Ed's been so nice to me. It's just crazy. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't be here trying to figure out this live stream if it wasn't for Ed, because when he found out that I was playing around with YouTube, he was just like, before I think I might have had one video out. He was like, I'm gonna start telling people all about it, and he did. And so, Ed, we are almost at 100, by the way, on subscribers for the Scruffy City Aquatics. I know that was the goal you gave me, and you said that we were going to do it soon. Let me look as I'm out of. I don't know if there's a way to look at it from StreamYard or not. I don't know why I talked about it before I brought it up. 98. So we're 2 subscribers away from 100. Michelle E., thank you for joining us. But yeah, I did look at the fishfam.link to see who all would be live on which days. And the days that worked best for me initially, I was like, ooh, that'd be good. Oh, wait, no, that person live streams. No, wait, that person's going to be live streaming. And not only do I not want to go up against them, I don't want to miss their live streams. So I was trying to find some time. And unfortunately, I mean, it's a great thing for the community. There's always something going on there, and that's awesome. But there was a little bit of a 30-minute opening, and I was like, we're going to slide in there and see if we can take a little extra time. It's going to be fun. But thank you all for being in the chat. I don't know how long we're going to do this. We didn't plan on actually putting on a show tonight. Tanner's just helping me out with playing with StreamYard and just seeing if I could break it tonight so that I don't break it next Tuesday. And next Tuesday, I've got a special reveal as we show, or as I share the announcement of my co-host. So thank you, Tanner, for helping me out.
Of course. My pleasure.
Glad you're not camera shy.
I did enough Zoom meetings through school to not be camera shy.
Isn't that right? Oh, man, we all had a crash course in that. I did a lot of online courses when I finished college, but none of it was like that. Spanish, the Spanish courses that I took online, I took online Spanish courses. We had to do videos, but even then, the phone calls were just phone calls, not video calls. And most of the work was submitted by recording and turning it in. But I mean, that was probably the closest I got. My kids did the virtual learning this year, having to be in front of the camera all day, and that was torturous.
Yeah, now I've noticed, even with work, everybody just is like, oh, we'll set up a video call, and I'm like, why are we doing another video call?
Well, I have gone back to the office, and we still do video call meetings.
Yeah, I mean, we never left the office, but yet it's still, people are like, instead of, doing a phone call or something, I mean, we'll all be in our separate offices on a video call with each other and somebody else. And I'm like, what is going on here?
Mexicali says, no, this is your premiere and we are the VIPs. You are the VIPs. I will never forget the fact that you were here. So thank you. We even talked about whether or not this would get deleted. It absolutely will not be deleted because I want to look back on this in the future and say, look at these beginnings where I didn't break it and we had a good time, we had a good conversation, and an hour absolutely flies by because we've got like 9:46 now. Yeah. Now, granted, the only hiccup we had was that I couldn't find the button to start live streaming and we were 10 minutes late because I thought it was already recording or already live and we were not. So you are the VIPs. Thank you everyone who came out. It's the soft opening. It is the soft opening. That was kind of the plan. It was like, okay, let's try this out and see what happens. I've done podcasts. I've actually done some stuff on Twitch in the past, but I've never used StreamYard. And I was on Susan for SLC Aquatics live stream. I think that was last week. Time's funny now. And but that was a load of fun. And I was like, man, I'd really like to do that, but I don't know that I have enough to talk about. I've got one tank, so I can't talk about all these species. Ed was in here earlier talking about a species that I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up later. I'm going to have to ask Tanner. But
the Synodontus.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. What those are cool. You know? They're like a type of catfish, from my understanding. I have never kept them personally, but Ed, chime in if I'm wrong, but they get fairly. Some of those species can get fairly large. I've seen.
Okay.
The store I used to work at, a lot of people would keep them with cichlids.
Okay.
But I could. Then again, I'm just saying this off the top of my head. Could be wrong.
Right. That's what live streams are. You always have to say we are not experts. We're just talking.
I am a novice at best.
Yeah. We were talking. Part of this live stream was us trying to figure out how to raise Corey fry. So, we are the beginning of the beginning, but that's cool because there's a need for that. That's let me pitch the channel real quick while we're here. That's why I'm doing YouTube. I got into the hobby about 8 or 9 years ago. I think it's creeping up on 9 years, and started off with a 10-gallon, went up to a 25. Now I've got a 75, but it's still my only tank. Other than the micro pond, which, people say I've actually got 4 tanks, but I don't. I have 1. But yeah, so I did the hobby alone all this time, and I found all of my information online. And at first that was, oh, you know how it is online. You'll get 50 different answers for every question when you look around online. And that's because everybody's water is different. Everybody's situation is different. Not all the fish are the same. Even the same species react differently depending on where you are in the country. So it makes sense that you get a different answer. But that's frustrating until I came across some people online on YouTube that I found that I could rely on and were trustworthy. And, the aquarium co-op's one of those. And then I found Sean Peck, and when I realized he was a local guy, I was like, yes, that's a subscribe. So Peck Tech was one that I started following. Then I came across Fish Room Fever in Chattanooga Ed and joined their live streams. I lurked around there for a long time. But just kind of getting involved in some of the following some of the people online and just having that content. And not only that, but then getting those really great channels like Irene's channel, Girl Talks Fish, used to be Gamer's Wife. Great information, and really glad that Aquarium Co-op has hired her and brought her in. So that's really cool. And there's just so many great resources out there that I enjoyed having, being able to not even participate in, just, I was just there checking it out. And that I'm gonna have to figure out how to talk and do stuff behind the scenes. The clickety click and talking didn't work. My ADD, it was like, ooh, I'm doing something. I can't talk anymore. I'm doing something. But anyway, all of that to say, I did it online. That was my whole community was online. My fish keeping was online. And one of the things that I found myself doing more often than not was helping people who were new to the hobby, who had those questions that I had in the beginning, and the things that I made all of the mistakes trying to figure out, and finally found stuff that worked. And so being able to help out with those kind of questions, I don't have 20 fish tanks in my house and have not kept hundreds of species. And when we started talking about a BAP program, which I'd never heard of before, in our fish club meetings, I was the one begging for points for bladder snails or pond snails, because I'm not going to, I'm probably never going to get an award for it, but I do enjoy my live bears. I've enjoyed platies and mollies over the years. I love red cherry shrimp. My favorite species are the Corydora. I want to have a huge school of stir-by Corydora, and I know that's not all that fancy, but that's just what I want. And I've got a tank full of greens and a few Palliatus right now, and I enjoy watching them. Autocinklus, my jam. Love my Autocinklus. And I really got into plants during all of this. And so my tank's full of low light plants because I can't keep high light plants because I'm too cheap to buy a good light. And I'm sure that'll change eventually. But right now I'm really enjoying what I've got. Hello, Master Aquatics. Thanks for Eduardo. I will call you Eduardo. Thank you for coming by. Did I miss anybody else? I see JT's not lurking anymore. He's talking about the species that I don't know anything about. But that's one of the things that my channel is that's what I'm going to focus on, because that's what I know. I think my next video that I'm working on is going to be focusing on my light, because I have an Amazon light that I got many years ago. It's been a really good light for me. It was a really great price. I can show the plants that I've had success with, and I can show the plants that I didn't have success with. So that's something that I think is fun and that can add to the community. And then if I can get into doing this live stream and interacting with the community, that's cool too. The online community was my first, fish community, and I'm really excited about having the local club. And that's another thing that I feel like Scruffy City Aquatics, I abbreviated it, I don't know why, can add, is that maybe it's a little more boosting the signal for the ETAA, because I really love having a local fish club and being able to get together once a month with 30 plus people and just talk about our fish and talk about live foods and learn how to culture live foods and stuff like that. We've had a really great time. I've rambled for a while. Tanner's just sitting there nodding his head like, yeah, you don't need a co-host. You should just do this on your own. But I just wanted to give the spiel. I wanted to talk about the channel, and I wanted to thank you all for coming by and listening to that. It's 9:53. I can't believe we're almost an hour in.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then to couple along with what you said about your progression through the hobby, at the fish swap we had, remember we figured out where we first met was at aquarium.
Yeah.
And I was helping you with some plants.
Yep.
But so to sort of talk about my progression a bit, I grew up, my grandpa was a middle school science teacher, and he had tanks in his classroom and animals and all sorts of cool stuff. So I was like, this is cool, as a kid. And then the first tank that I ever kept on my own, which is in my room, I'm pointing behind, it's behind the screen. But it's actually was his first 55-gallon tank. And I've kept that since he gave it to me. But I sort of went a different route. Is once I started getting into the hobby, I saw a local store was hiring, and I was like, that seems pretty cool. I'd like to work with fish. And I learned, immense amount through that, of just having to learn real quick working at a store. And then I found the YouTube rabbit hole kind of at the same time with Aquarium Co-op, LRB Aquatics. I really like MD Fish tanks, but I would just watch, see all of their tanks, and I was like, I want to do that. And so slowly I started accumulating more and more tanks, and now I think I'm up to 9, I believe. I've got 2. This is my main one behind me, but I've got, my bedroom is a U shape of tanks pretty much. But it's just,
is the 9 really, counting the one you haven't set up?
No.
Okay.
There's not. So I think that one's going to be an office tank. So I've got 9 tanks at home.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So tanks somewhere else don't count. But I sort of progressed through the hobby in a different way. And then actually in college, one of my roommates also he kept shrimp tanks. So me and him, our rooms were across the hallway from each other. So we would always be like, "Hey, dude, come check this out. My shrimp are buried," just something like that. And that was the first time I'd interacted with someone in person with the hobby, extensively. And I was like, this is awesome. Then the community that I found with the club has just been, it's gotten me even more interested in the hobby. I don't know if that's a good thing per se.
Oh yeah, I'm fighting the multiple tank syndrome for sure.
It's hard because you see, I got to stop going to the aquarium stores every weekend because my tanks are stocked.
Yeah,
but then I'm like, that would be cool to do a species tank with, whatever.
Yeah. So I think it was Michelle said that they did not have a local club, and I tell you, finding a local club is key. Even if it's a little bit of a drive and you can only do it every few months, just having that interaction. I think I saw where you said where you were from, but I'm not familiar with it. We're in Knoxville, Tennessee. If you're anywhere close, definitely check out the East Tennessee Aquatic Association and check out our schedule. We meet once a month, and in October we have our next fish swap coming up. But our June meeting is the 11th. We're going to be talking about outdoor ponds, and it's a good time. It's a lot of fun, for sure. And for us, I decided that I wanted that online community to be something in person, and so I started looking for a club and couldn't find one. And so I started looking into what would it take to start one, and it was a huge undertaking that I was not capable of taking on. And then I came across some guys who decided that they wanted to work on it. There's one right now, another one, because JT's one, and there's Kane Fitzwallace. Kane is another one of my fishy brothers who decided to start a fish club and allowed me to tag along and help out. And I think we've got a pretty good thing going on now. I really enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing what we do in the future. But if you can't find one, start one. It doesn't have to be anything big. I've been thinking about that. I know Tanner's been thinking about it. He's actually not in Knoxville. He comes to the Knoxville club when he can, but he's a few hours away in Nashville, and he's been thinking about starting something up over there. And you can start small. It doesn't have to be. I mean, I was shocked when we met for the first time and had 20-something people. And I wasn't even there because I was sick. but the report of that many people being there, I was just like, that's a huge success. And I figured, the next week it'll fall off some. That's okay. You always do. And it didn't. And last week was our biggest, not last week, this past month was our biggest meeting, our biggest turnout so far. And it just shows that people really want the community and want to be involved. I saw that Ed said that he met Fisherman Fever at aquarium in Knoxville as well. So that's cool. Yeah. So Tanner was helping me with plants, and I was telling him about my light that will be featured in one of my upcoming videos. And I was like, it's a pretty powerful light, but I don't feel like it's doing what I need for the stems. And he's like, yeah, you probably can't do stems. I was like, okay, give me a few of those. And so I bought some anyway and killed them all. Slowly. I didn't actually kill them. They just get so leggy that they look horrible. And it's got to be my light. I've done everything else right.
Is it the I think you have the Nycrew, don't you?
Yeah, it's the Nycrew. It's not the Planted Plus, it's the Plus Planted, the Nycrew Plus Planted.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've got two on that 55, which I just started doing CO2 on. I've got two of the Nycrews, and it's growing stems, but I do have two of them. So I have, the light behind me I paid way too much for.
Yeah.
I could buy 10 Nycrews, but I will say those Nycrews are fantastic. I've got it on, I'm running Nycrews on 3 tanks right now. So
yeah, low light, medium light tanks, they're awesome. Actually, they're a little strong for low light tanks. You need to have a way to, you need to have a way to turn them down, which I have the timer, which has an adjustment. You can adjust the intensity. It's really good. So Chattanooga Ed says, Michelle, maybe in Britain. Yeah, coming to Knoxville might be tough. If you are ever in Knoxville, though, definitely check us out. Let us know. Yeah, I like my Nicrew. It is strong. Like if I just had low light plants, the Nubius, the Amazon swords even, I don't know that Amazon sword is technically a low light plant, but I get a lot of algae on it if I don't turn it down. And the Nubius for sure. It just, I'm still fighting it back right now. I've turned it way down since I took all those stems out. I do still have that Pogostem erectus in there, and it's real. It was perfect when you gave it to me. I got one from you, or a few. I think you gave me like 3. And I put them in the tank, and I was like, oh, that's so gorgeous. I can't wait to have that all over the tank. It's going to be amazing. And then a few months later, it's like, oh, man, it looks just like my Pogostem and Stellatus octopus now. The color is different, but it's gotten, real long leaves and large spaces in between them. And it's not, because it was just like this bushy cone that was in there. And it was cool.
So I did a little experiment with Pogostem and octopus to see if it would grow quite a bit more compact with CO2 and highlighting. It almost grows the same. So I can actually, I don't know if it'll focus. You can see it. Oh, this is right there.
Yeah.
It's still growing. The node spacing is about the same.
Okay.
So I was hoping it would look, get real compact.
Yeah, that's what I was
it doesn't seem like it wants to do it. It grows crazy fast though.
Yeah, it looks good. It still looks good. It's just not, it's right over there. That's why I'm looking over there. It still looks good. It just doesn't look as good as it did. And I'm still going to enjoy having it throughout the tank. I kept it and the Brazilian pennywort and, the Bacopa carolina that I picked up. Which, when I got it from Curtis, I mean, like, it was like a 1/4 inch or more, big around. And it's gotten a lot thinner now. It's stretching. Trying to get to that light. Got to get up there.
Thank you for that compliment, Michelle. This is my tank that I work on quite a bit, but I appreciate that. If you all can't tell or don't know me, plants are sort of, I keep looking back at the tank, but plants are sort of what I go to. I'm gonna have to figure out the whole pointing off the screen at things. I'm like, over there you can see that. I'm like, nope, you can't.
Right. And that's me too. Like, there's been times in the hobby where I've been more about the plants than the fish. And I definitely was there before the club. And then I picked up some of those guppies from Bruce's Gorgeous Guppies, the red albinos. Yeah. And they got me all excited again because I'm really hoping to see some fry from them. And then I got some of those emerald green cories, and they're just like all over the place. They're always busy. They're always all over the tank. And at first I didn't really want them because I thought they were kind of boring, but they're so busy that they're interesting. And so I got excited about spawning them. And so that's got me back on and then the live foods too, with Cassandra's presentation at our last meeting. I've been doing banana worms, a lot of banana worms. I've got a lot of banana worms. So I've been feeding them every day, and I'm starting to do pretty well with the grindle worms, and I'm pretty sure I killed all my Daphnia, but I'll try it again after I get some green water. So
I would say the club is, sorry, go ahead, Mitch.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I see Liquid Zoo's in, and I know this is not the date and time that I gave you for the Fish Fam link, but we're just kind of testing things out and ended up having fun, and so we're staying for a while. So, hey, Matt.
But I would definitely say that the club has diversified my hobby quite a bit, because now I'm more interested in the fish side again. It's sort of balanced out, but now I've got the live foods going. I bought a wine cooler to keep worms in, to keep white worms. Yeah. I was like, hey, I was asking my family, I was like, do you know anybody selling a wine cooler? And they're like, you don't drink wine. What do you need a wine cooler for? I was like, it's my worms.
Worms.
I found one on the Facebook Marketplace, and the guy was like, that's because it's just one of the small ones. He's like, what are you using this for? I was like, it's for worms.
That's fun. Yeah. My biggest issue is right now, I'm having to reorganize my cabinet, because in the past, like I've got stuff that I don't use regularly that's out in the garage, but all of my like day to day, week to week type stuff stays underneath the cabinet of the 75, and it's stuff. To the point that I haven't pulled out the DIY CO2 to refill it, just because I don't want to deal with trying to get to it right now. So yeah, I got to do that sometime.
Yeah, I'd say we all probably struggle with crowding our spaces. Yeah. I've got 2 totes in my closet full of rocks and driftwood.
Now I'm keeping fish in totes. So
yeah. Oh yeah, those I bought them at Walmart, the little shoebox size totes. They're perfect for storing plants in, hatch and fry. I mean, I've been wanting to, if I get into breeding some more fish, have you seen the fry rack systems that people can make, where you put I think Dean, the guy that's always on Aquarium Co-op, he has a system like that. And then there's another guy I really like to watch. He's out of Australia, but it's Keeping Fish Simple.
Yeah, I know Keeping Fish Simple. Yeah,
he's got some. I think his videos are really entertaining. It's wild. He does so much in a small. He's like in a garage pretty much, which is I think
I've watched his Corey videos a lot, because he's done and shrimp. He did shrimp in barrels or in garbage cans.
Yeah,
cool series. Yeah. I have a shed in my backyard that is in need of some renovation, and if I ever get to the place where I can, it may become my fish cave.
That would be pretty dang cool.
Yeah, that would be something that the channel might chronicle one of these days. I mean, I can't promise that it's happening anytime soon, but that's a hope for me. I'd love to be able to do that and to have some stuff out there, but it's a lot of work, because it's just a old shed right now that needs a lot of tender love and care in order to get it there.
But just think about all the tanks you can have in there.
Yeah, so there are, I mean, it's big. I actually built it when I was in high school. The house that I live in used to be my parents' house. And I built it in high school, and it's huge. I have no idea why they had me build it so big, or why I built it so big. Well, I say a friend of mine and he was the contractor. I was the helper. I won't try to oversell my abilities here. I was the helper who had to work sometimes, so he was here alone sometimes. But Chattanooga Ed says Dean's asked about coming on his show. That would be awesome. I really enjoy Dean. Actually, I don't remember how it happened. I had a conversation about Dean coming to Knoxville sometime, and he said if we ever did do the native fish collecting, to give him a call, or not a call, a message. He didn't say call. He'd give me his number. I do not have Dean's number.
That would be very cool. He seems like a pretty cool guy, very knowledgeable.
Oh yeah.
I would love to, sit down, just have some coffee with him and pick his brain, because so many of the things he's came up with are ingenious.
No, I don't want to sit and have coffee with him. I want him to come help me with the shed, because he's got the skills. We can drink coffee while we're working on the shed. That would be awesome. John with Select Fit, my phone. I tell you what. Oh, so I've got a notification that the space station is going over. I'm forgetting about that. I'm supposed to take my daughter out to take a look at the space station if the sky is visible. So we're going to have to call it a night so that I can do that. And she may already be asleep. I'm going to go wake her up and be a good dad. Be like, hey, it's 10 o'clock. There's no school. Let's get up and go outside, check out the sky. So, oh, wait, let me back up. Now you know why, Mitch. I didn't see it. Master Aquatics. This is something that I'll have to get used to. I did not keep up with the chat. And so now I'm wondering. JT's talking about shop lights. I know I've considered the shop lights, but I don't know that they would look. I don't know that they would. Do the shop lights do stem plants well? I don't know. That'll be a topic for another time. We will talk about that, because I do have to go. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, first of all, to Tanner for joining me and helping me crash around and see if I could break it. We did not break it. I feel like things went well. So thank you for that. Thank you to all the VIPs. I think that's what you called yourself, for being here for the first ever stream, the non-official behind the scenes stream. And again, next Tuesday at 8:30, we will have the first stream where I'll announce, or will reveal who the co-host of the show will be. And that'll be fun. So thank you all for coming by. This was not planned, other than me and Tanner just saying, yeah, let's see what we can do. So thank you for coming by, and thank you for a good time. And I wish I knew who was streaming right now so I could send you their way. I'll tell you, you could go to fishfam.link, check that out. That's a great resource that I've been using recently to find who's streaming. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It will be a good reveal. It's a mystery reveal. I can't wait. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, I enjoyed meeting and talking with everyone. It was fun. Mitch, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
we've
I'm sure we'll do it again
made
sometime.
it through. Yeah, we might.
Yeah. If I ever have like a last minute cancellation, I know I can count on you.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it was a blast. Thanks, Mitch. Thanks everybody who joined. I was not expecting to see this many people in the chat. But
no, me neither.
That is absolutely awesome. So appreciate everyone who joined.
Yeah, so it looks like Stephen P is in 20 minutes. Liquid Zoo is on top of it. Currently, Dan's Fish and Primetime are streaming. And yeah, thank you all for checking us out, for stopping by. And sorry to go, but next week, 8:30, we'll be here on Tuesday. And I should have another video out before then, hopefully. I'm still trying to get used to YouTube. So, see y'all. Thank you.